Hello again, incredible English learners, and welcome back to English in Advance. I'm Jennifer, your guide on this wonderful journey, and it's truly fantastic to have you joining me for day 5 of our 7 Days to Confident Speak English Fluently challenge. Can you believe we're already here, standing on the edge of another truly powerful step in your language adventure? Just yesterday, we bravely stepped into the essential practice of daily English conversation, didn't we? We really used our voices, taking all these English thoughts we'd been building inside our minds and boldly letting them out, making them real and vibrant. We learned ways to stop that little bit of fear, to quiet the voice in our heads that might make us doubt ourselves, and to build a thrilling ability to speak easily and quickly. We asked you to step forward, to speak out loud, whether chatting with a friendly partner or using the truly patient and helpful tool of voice typing, letting your words simply appear on the screen. If you took on those challenges, if you felt that small but clear burst of energy as your words came out naturally, even if they weren't perfect, then you are already feeling the amazing joy of real language growth. You are building not just confidence, but real physical memory in your mouth and brain for speaking English, making the way smoother for truly easy communication. But as we keep going on our path to speaking English smoothly, naturally, and with real power, a very important question often pops up, doesn't it? You can practice speaking every single day, and you can get comfortable with the rhythm and sound of English, but what happens when you're really trying to find just the right word to describe an action, to share a specific feeling, or to carefully explain exactly what happened in a certain situation? That moment when you stop, that quick blank space in your mind, when you know exactly what you want to say, but the perfect English word for an action, a feeling, or a detailed event just isn't there. This often leaves you reaching for simpler, less impactful words, maybe just saying something general when you really want to paint a clear, strong picture with your words. This is exactly why today's important lesson is so vital. It works perfectly with all our past work on speaking and thinking in English. Day 5 is all about discovering the very best way to build your active vocabulary for fluency. We are not just talking about the slow and often boring job of memorizing long lists of words from a dictionary. Oh no, that's like collecting many bricks without ever knowing how to build a beautiful house with them. Instead, we are going to unlock exciting and useful methods that help you learn words, naturally, deeply understand their true meaning, and most importantly, make them such a strong part of your language skills that they are ready instantly when you need them most. They will flow out easily and correctly into your conversations. Because true fluency, my dear learners, isn't just about speaking fast. It's about speaking with clear purpose, with expression, and with a rich, colorful collection of words that truly, honestly show your deepest thoughts and feelings. It's about painting clear pictures with your words, making sure your message is not just heard, but truly felt and understood. The truth is, building a strong, useful, and active English vocabulary is a huge step forward. It's much more complex and rewarding than just gathering individual words. It's about building a living, breathing language tool right inside you that keeps growing and changing. Imagine your vocabulary not as a fixed, unmoving pile of bricks, but instead as a huge, detailed, and flowing network. In this network, every new word you truly understand, every new phrase you master adds incredible strength, makes your way of speaking much wider, and makes your voice sound even better. And when it comes to talking about actions, showing movement, or telling dynamic stories, Very few types of words are as powerful, as descriptive as verbs. Verbs are, without a doubt, the tireless engines of our sentences. They tell us what happens, what people do, how things change, how feelings grow, how tasks get finished. They fill your language with energy, with life, and with amazing exactness. This is truly the best way to make your English come alive and feel natural. When you have a rich, active vocabulary, especially one full of verbs you understand well, several truly amazing changes start to happen in your communication. First, you get an incredible level of detail and exactness. This helps you say exactly what you mean, instead of just using a general idea that might not be quite right. Think for a moment about the small but important difference between just saying I ate and the richer, more vivid choices like I savored the meal, I devoured the entire plate, or I nibbled on the snack. Each verb, even though it's about eating, paints a totally different picture, brings up a unique image, and shares a specific feeling or way of doing something. Having a wider and more active range of verbs naturally helps you avoid using the same simple words over and over. This makes your conversations much more interesting and enjoyable for others to hear, and also much more satisfying and fulfilling for you as the speaker. You won't always need to use simple, common actions when you have the language tools to say things in a more clear, strong, and specific way. This skill, being able to choose the perfect word, is a clear sign of fluency, not just any word. Besides how much it helps your own speaking, a richer vocabulary greatly improves your understanding. This means you can grasp the small meanings, the deeper intentions, and the complex ideas when other people speak, when you read a fascinating article, or when you get lost in a wonderful story. This wider vocabulary also clearly reduces that frustrating, confidence draining hesitation you might feel when your mind is looking for a particular word. This is because you now have many carefully chosen words ready at your fingertips, making your speech much smoother, more flowing, and far more natural. This, my dear learners, is the key difference between simply understanding a sentence and truly grasping its deep meaning, its many layers, and its main purpose. Today, as we begin this important language journey, we will especially focus on truly learning 15 new verbs and making them completely your own, weaving them into the very fabric of how you actively speak English. This is truly the best way to build this crucial part of speaking English easily and well. So, what is this best way to make these powerful verbs a lively, active part of your English vocabulary, ready to use easily and quickly like an experienced performer remembering a perfectly practiced line? It all begins with a clear, simple idea. Vocabulary, especially verbs, should always be learned in meaningful groups based on clear, useful topics. Your brain, you see, is an amazing machine that finds patterns. It thrives on making connections, understanding how things relate, and seeing words in their natural surroundings. It does not do well with random, simple lists of single words. When you learn verbs that naturally go together, verbs that are part of the same subject or situation, you actively build a strong, working mental network that greatly helps you remember them and understand their meaning. Imagine, if you will, carefully building a special mental folder for all your kitchen verbs, then another neatly organized folder for your office verbs, and a third, perhaps a little more general but just as important, folder for verbs that describe feelings or emotional states. This way of grouping by topic is incredibly powerful because it creates a direct path in your mind. This helps you easily remember the right verb exactly when you are in a specific situation or when you are trying to describe a particular experience. It's like having a perfectly organized mental library where every word is exactly where it should be. This smart way of organizing is key to making new vocabulary truly active and easy to find when you need to speak English well. Let's look more closely at three important and very relatable topics. We will explore the many vibrant verbs that belong to each area, showing just how powerful this topic based method can be. First, let's take ourselves to the heart of the home, the busy, creative space of the kitchen. Think for a moment about all the active things that happen there, the detailed dance of preparing and making food. You don't just cut vegetables in the kitchen, do you? No, the actions are much more exact, much more descriptive. Perhaps you chop them roughly with satisfying sounds or dice them finely into perfect small squares, or even julienne them into thin, elegant strips. When cooking, you might saute lovely smelling onions until they become beautifully clear. Whisk eggs strongly until they're light and fluffy. Or let a delicious sauce simmer gently on the stove, letting out its rich flavors. You could tirelessly knead dough until it becomes smooth and springy, making sure it has that perfect feel. Perhaps you need to peel fruits or vegetables easily before adding them to a dish. Often, you'll blend different ingredients together to make a smooth, balanced mixture for a smoothie or soup. For a big meal, you might expertly carve a wonderful roasted piece of meat for a special occasion. As you prepare, water might need to drain from freshly cooked pasta before it's mixed with sauce, and a piece of chicken or fish might patiently marinate overnight, soaking up amazing flavors for a richer taste. You could sprinkle delicate spices over a finished dish for a final touch, toast bread to a perfect golden crisp for breakfast, steam healthy vegetables until they are perfectly soft, bake a magnificent cake to golden perfection, or broil a piece of fish to get that wonderful crispy top. Learning verbs like chop, saute, whisk, simmer, knead, peel, blend, carve, drain, marinate, sprinkle, toast, steam, bake, broil, and many others, especially for the kitchen, gives you a very exact and lively language for all things about cooking. This makes it feel natural to describe these actions without thinking hard. Next, let's smoothly move to a more organized, often active place, the professional world of the office. What are the key actions, the active verbs, that people do every day in an office to move projects forward, work well together, and reach their goals? They might skillfully delegate specific tasks to team members, making sure everyone knows their job and work is done well. They could compile full reports, carefully gathering and organizing a lot of information, and then carefully finalize important papers, checking every detail for correctness before sending them. People in the office often brainstorm creative ideas together, starting new thoughts and solving problems, and then confidently present convincing plans to others, explaining their ideas clearly. A big part of teamwork often means learning to collaborate well on shared projects, mixing different viewpoints and talking openly to reach a common goal. When complex agreements are being made, people in the office might skillfully negotiate terms to find a good result for everyone, making sure things are fair and moving forward. They might carefully analyze detailed information to help them make important choices, finding insights from numbers. Daily work often means learning to track progress exactly, watching every step of a project, schedule meetings well to save time, and very importantly, prioritize urgent tasks among many things that need doing. Beyond the daily routine, they might bravely implement new plans to make things better, thoughtfully revise old ideas to fit new situations, innovate completely new solutions to hard problems, pushing new ideas, or briefly brief their bosses on important updates, giving necessary information quickly. Verbs such as delegate, compile, finalize, brainstorm, present, collaborate, negotiate, analyze, track, schedule, prioritize, implement, revise, innovate, brief, and many more are not just words. They are the very core of good professional talking, letting you explain every action with perfect detail. Finally, let's explore the complex, often beautiful, and deeply human world of feelings. How do we talk about and deal with the rich, ever changing world of emotions, both our own and others? Verbs of emotion let us go beyond simple descriptive words and truly explain the experience of feeling. When someone is upset, you might try to console a friend, giving comfort and understanding, or perhaps reassure someone who is very worried, giving them a feeling of calm and peace. You might try to alleviate someone's pain or suffering, actively working to make their burden lighter. Sometimes, in hard moments, you might actively suppress your own immediate anger or fear, choosing to control how you react. Or, on the other hand, you might bravely confide your deepest worries in a trusted person, looking for comfort and closeness. We often find ourselves learning to empathize deeply with what others are going through, truly understanding their views and sharing their feelings. We might encourage someone to bravely follow their dreams, giving strong support, or inspire them to take important action, lighting up their passion and potential. On darker, more thoughtful days, you might find yourself lamenting a loss, maybe a chance you missed or a broken bond, showing deep sadness. You might ponder a hard, life changing decision, working through its difficulties in your mind. There are times when you might yearn for something far away or impossible to get, a deep, lasting desire in your heart. On brighter, more joyful days, you might exult in a hard won success, feeling great happiness and victory, or simply anticipate good things yet to come, full of hopeful expectation and excitement. Before making a difficult choice, you might dread a possible argument, feeling worried, or carefully contemplate your next smart move, thinking about all possibilities with great care. Verbs like console, reassure, alleviate, suppress, confide, empathize, encourage, inspire, lament, ponder, yearn, exult, dread, contemplate, anticipate, and many others give you a very strong and detailed vocabulary for feelings, letting you explain the full range of human experience with exactness and depth, truly making your conversations touch others. Your specific and incredibly powerful task today is to choose 15 new verbs that truly speak to you from these topic areas or from any other part of life that is important to you. As you think about this, consider verbs that you often wish you knew or that would make your explanations more exact. The most important life changing part of this exercise is to then immediately put them into action to give them life through your own voice. For each of these 15 carefully chosen verbs, commit to creating at least one truly original sentence that uses it meaningfully, honestly, and correctly. These sentences must be very personal, directly linked to your own unique experiences, and perhaps even a little bit fun, silly, or easy to remember. This strong personal link is what makes them truly stay in your long term memory and brings them into your active vocabulary. For example, if you just learned the verb endeavor, instead of just writing a general meaning, try making a sentence like, I will endeavor to finish this challenging project before the deadline, even if it takes extra work. Or maybe, every morning I endeavor to start my day with a positive outlook no matter what difficulties come. If you learn the verb flourish, you might say, I hope my new plants will flourish in the warm sunlight and grow strong and tall. Or, after working hard and using new ideas, I expect my skills to flourish and bring new chances for growth. As you make these sentences, speak them out loud. Do not just think about them. If you can, use your voice typing tool just like we practiced and mastered yesterday. Seeing your spoken words instantly appear on the screen gives you immediate, very useful feedback on how you are saying them. It also helps to truly make strong the verb's correct use, its grammar in the sentence, and how it flows naturally in your mind. This strong active practice is the secret path, the changing process by which words move from just knowing them to being a vibrant, active, and easily used part of your vocabulary. This makes sure you not only know the word but can truly use it. And now, my determined and increasingly confident learners, for your specific, brave, and incredibly powerful plan that brings all of today's learning together into a real, very rewarding practice. This is where we finish our main work for the day. Your main task for today is to create a 1-minute story using at least 5 of your 15 newly learned verbs. This story should be completely your own idea, made up by you as you speak, said naturally, and very importantly, spoken entirely out loud. The most important advice here is this: do not try to write it down before. That would completely stop the whole point of practicing speaking easily and quickly, which is the main goal of true fluency. Just let your creativity flow, letting your newly learned verbs naturally fit into your story. The strong purpose of this task is to make your brain actively remember and use your new verbs in a complete, flowing story. This shows you can use them in a real conversation easily and exactly. Here's exactly how you'll approach this exciting challenge. First, take some focused time to truly learn your 15 verbs from the topic areas we talked about, making sure you understand their small differences in meaning. Practice making those personal sentences for each one, speaking them out loud with clear purpose and understanding. Once you feel you understand them well and have a sense of what they mean and how to use them, carefully choose at least 5 that you feel most comfortable with, or maybe 5 that could naturally and easily fit into a short, interesting story. Then, without any written script, just start speaking for 1 full minute. Tell a short story, perhaps about a hard day at your job where you had to quickly prioritize important tasks and work hard to collaborate with your coworkers to meet a deadline. Or maybe tell about a lovely time you made a meal at home where you carefully sautéed fresh vegetables until they were soft and then gently simmered a rich sauce perfectly. Or you could share a personal story about a time you had to gently console a friend who was feeling down and later felt yourself exult in their new happiness and strength as they began to flourish. The exact details or complex plot of the story are not as important as how you actively, purposely, and naturally use those new, strong verbs. As you speak, focus strongly on smoothly putting your chosen 5 verbs into your sentences, making them feel like a natural part of how you express yourself. Don't hesitate, just keep talking for that full, unbroken minute, letting the words come easily. If you can, record yourself. Listening back to your own voice will be an incredibly useful tool, giving you surprising insights and helping you find any areas where you can make your usage even better, make your words clearer, and truly make those verbs shine when you speak them. This makes your fluency stronger and more natural. The unstoppable power of a rich and useful vocabulary Congratulations, truly, on bravely completing day 5 of our challenge. You are not just learning English, you are actively building and making better a strong, very expressive tool for connecting with others and for deep communication. This focused effort on learning active vocabulary, especially the strong power of verbs, by cleverly grouping them by topic and then truly using them in your own sentences and natural stories, is the most important, necessary key to unlocking real, effortless fluency. This is the best way to change your vocabulary from just words you know into active, powerful language skills. By always using these strong, insightful methods, you will surely start to see a remarkable and faster change in your own confidence, in how exactly you express yourself, and in the overall richness, naturalness, and interesting quality of your spoken English. The many benefits of this dedicated practice will steadily grow, greatly helping you to feel even more comfortable, more truly yourself when speaking English. Going beyond just memorizing, you will gain a true, natural understanding and a perfectly easy way of using words, moving far beyond just knowing them into truly being able to use them actively. More confidence. You will feel much more ready and able to express even the most detailed thoughts and complex actions, greatly reducing those frustrating moments of looking for words. This will be replaced by a feeling of being ready, richer, more interesting conversations. Your talks will become much more compelling, more interesting, and more satisfying, both for you as the speaker and for those you are talking with. This is because your language will become more active, exact, and vivid, painting clearer pictures for those listening to you. Faster fluency. Having your carefully learned words ready in your mind means fewer awkward stops, less hesitation, and a much smoother, more flowing way of speaking. This is especially true when you are describing detailed actions, processes, and the full range of human emotions, making your communication almost effortless. You are truly actively shaping your language future. You are building a strong, lively, and incredibly flexible bridge between your detailed English thoughts and your clear, well spoken words. This bridge is specially made for real connection and deep self expression. The more words you truly own and can actively use, the more naturally, easily, and beautifully you can express the depths of your mind and heart. This is the core of speaking English well and with confidence. Tomorrow, on day 6, we're going to build directly on this important base of strong vocabulary and confident speaking. We will talk about how to make your accent better and sound even more natural and effortless when speaking English, further polishing how you speak to truly capture your audience's attention. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you found it truly helpful. Share it widely with your fellow English learners, and of course, please subscribe to English in Advance so you absolutely don't miss day 6. Your support helps us reach more learners like you, helping them on their own amazing journeys. In the comments section below, I'd truly love to hear which of today's brave methods you're most excited to try first, or what topics you chose for your verbs. Perhaps you can even share one or two of those new verbs you practiced, or briefly tell me about a moment from your 1-minute story where you used a new verb. Share your thoughts and experiences. I always enjoy reading them, learning from your journeys, and cheering you on in your amazing progress. Thank you very much for joining me on day 5. Keep practicing, keep growing, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.